Turn off your mic. My name is Thomas Sawyer with ThomasSawyer.com, and this is John Atlas. with JohnAtlas.net. Thanks for being here tonight. It's another lovely Tuesday night, and we are back at it again. Glad you're with us.
I'm trying to make sure everything works, so it doesn't look like it does. So, guys, if you want to donate $33, the link is above because I've checked it for StreamYard. And I can't get it in the comments. I don't know what is wrong with Mr. Facebook today, but there always seems to be little issues going on here and there. And it is what it is. Please join our list doing $33 Cosmic Divine Healings and Readings. And we're going to start off. Well, let's just talk for a second while people are coming in.
Sure.
So what you got going on, Mr. John?
Programming. I will be doing a more in-depth video about this tomorrow for anyone who's interested. But the energy that we're working with right now is really forcing us to take a look at our thoughts and mindsets and beliefs, and which ones hold truth and which ones have been programmed into us, whether it's by our parents or by society. For example, I realized last night that I have a tendency to literally not hear things sometimes because subconsciously I'm avoiding these things. And that was based on childhood traumas. So it makes me wonder, like, how much life and how much information are we missing out on because we have subconscious blocks to the information that's coming into us. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been at. That's the very short version, and I don't want to give too much away since I'm doing a video on it tomorrow. But yeah, so subconscious, that's the energy we're in. Mindsets and beliefs and programming. Looking forward to making that content. How about you, buddy?
I've been doing good. It's a lot of introspection about what to do next and where to go. I had a few days of break there with a friend of mine from out of town and learning some Tai Chi.
Yeah, that's good for you.
Chi, a whole different form of energy and I was like, man, if you mix this stuff with Reiki and some other stuff, dear God, what could you do?
Yeah, there's been a handful of times. I mean, I move a little bit when I'm healing anyways, but there has been times where like they've had me doing whole body movements where I had to stand up in order to complete the task that I was being guided to. And some of those effects were absolutely profound for the clients. And yeah, so I think you're right on the money with that. If you learn to master energy flow in that way, and then combine that with other energy healing modalities. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Is it too early to be cussing?
No, it is what it is. Yeah, I would see my friend go into like immediate. I mean, I don't even think he realizes it, but like if he just goes in sitting against a car, it's so natural to him to see energy going all around him. And of course, when he's in like Tai Chi stance, but he'd just be leaning up against a car and like shift.
Right.
Sitting on the bench and shift. And I'd be like, look at like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot more that goes into movement than we realize. And I know that movement can seem kind of cheesy at times. Like I watched some show on Netflix a while back. And I'm trying to think what it was called. It's just a couple of letters. OA, the OA. Mm-hmm. And it was all about like these movements that were doing a variety, like opening doors to different universes or dimensions or something of that nature. Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, so that being said, I remember like I had bought like a shape-shifting book at one point in time. You may actually recommended it to me. And like this dude had different poses in there that you could hold. And like I would just hold pose and I could feel my energy shifting. That's why it's important that we find ways to like move through the day instead of just like sitting on the fucking couch all day long, because that energy gets stagnant.
Stagnancy breeds complacency.
Indeed.
Well, we're going to start out. We've got, I can't see any comments. It's one of these Facebook days, apparently. See my comment, who's watching, but I can't see any.
I can see two. I can see Tammy Simmons. Hello, Tammy. How are you? And Ada Kelly, who I got to do a reading for last night, and that was fun. We had a good time.
On Facebook, are you seeing any comments on there?
That's what I'm on. I can't see the StreamYard comments. I can only see the Facebook ones.
Yeah, I only see 2 comments. So maybe people aren't. Maybe they're. Put in your comments, people. So we are doing $33 live cosmic healings and readings. And as Ada said, it was fantastic.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Ada. I had a good time too.
And speaking of which, we're going to start out with Ada.
Okay. I will let you start with that if you want.
Okay. Let's see, Ada. You've got, I'm not even going to really use my cards that much today. We'll see if I choose differently. They're saying you've been imbued with a strength talisman. What is this? I saw myself flexing, which was like strength, and it's saying they're showing me a talisman. You've been imbued with a strength talisman now. So it's going to help you further walk into your masculine energy, as well as your higher connections, I'm hearing, that go through the galactic cosmos of your inner being. Interdimensional stellar travel. I'm seeing a bunch of guides. They're cosmic beings around you. Different ETs. They're saying some of them are not. Some of them look more like ancients. Oh, I get the message. I'm going to pull a card just for the fun of it. Give me a little more clarification. Yeah, gotcha. Conscious connections. So normally when I see this card, Ada, I would talk about conscious connections with people. What I'm hearing is conscious connections with these beings. They're literally knocking at your door for you to step into a new paradigm of self, to further develop your connection and to help, more importantly, with the collective, so you can move into the role of a teacher, something you've been kind of going back and forth with. We all have this issue. It is what it is. Still, they're saying take the steps that will lead you to the next place, even if it's just one person you start teaching. I have a feeling that when you start talking to people about spirituality, I've had this happen to me a few times, you're going to start noticing that you're downloading stuff to them, because they're going to be like, what on earth are you talking about? But they're going to feel the energy, and it's going to throw them back a little bit. And it's like you're downloading all this information into them really fast. Is what I'm hearing.
Okay. Ada, so, I mean, if you needed any more confirmation, Thomas, like, basically confirmed everything that we talked about last night. You know, like, he confirmed all of that stuff, anything from integrating the divine to being a teacher, and being able to bring spirituality to the world in certain terms, and working with the collective. That just, dude, that's exactly where we were at last night. I'm going to pull a couple cards for you here, Ada. Ada's high is good. Just to continue to build on that. Just to continue to build on this. I got this angel deck here, this archangel deck. We're going to see where this takes you. High is good. Thank you. There's my 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So this is important. Okay. This is Archangel Jophiel. And the message on this card is act with wisdom. use information for the highest good. And I mean, we even kind of spoke about that last night. um, about using your abilities and your energies wisely, with the right people in the right places at the right times. You know, using that inner wisdom, that divine wisdom that's given to you, but through your inner knowing. Um, and you do have the potential to do a lot of good for the collective, especially whenever you use that wisdom. Next, we have another confirmation um, from the reading last night. It says it's time for you to fly. But what that's confirming is that it's time to step out of your comfort zone and step into your role. It's a process. It can take time, but it's time for you to take those, to get your wings out, so to speak, okay? So that you can fly and listen to your intuition, which you have been doing. Your intuition was strong and you have been working very well with that recently. Um, ooh, what's that? Okay, so they're saying you have been working well with it. Um, but there's been a few times recently where you didn't want to listen to what you were being told or what you were knowing or feeling, which, you know, happens to the best of us. No harm there. We all do that. No judgment, absolutely none, because I know that I do that a lot. So, you know, it's all good. But yeah, Ada, I feel like with everything we talked about and what's come up tonight, that like you really have the information that you need at this point to really move forward on your journey. And I think you have a good idea what the steps need to be and where you need to go and what your focus needs to be on at this time. You're in a good place to make changes right now. You're in an energy that'll allow you to make changes, and um, use it. Use it. Allow it to happen. Okay. Um, like we talked about with just trusting in the universe. The doors are opening. Go through them. You'll be surprised, or maybe not even surprised, but like happy with the way that things turn out. Okay, so keep striving forward, keep pushing forward. You got this, dude. You got this. Thomas, anything else you want to add there?
Yeah. Who are these guides I'm sensing? Who are these guides? Guides. I say, Thomas, have a cigarette. And think about it for a second. You have an uncle around you, number one, Ada. He's saying, hold on, you're almost there. Number two, you have a spirit totem, which is the rat. You need to look up what that means. It's not a bad one or something. Rats are very resourceful. Spirit
and survivors.
Yeah, he's being more specific. But rats are survival, as John said, they survive. What else do we have? We're presenting a bunch of different images. I'm not going to speed through this. Just give me a second. You have a giant around you as well. It's not an Anunnaki, though. He's presenting himself to me almost, well, he's presenting himself like in giant's garb with copper armor and a copper sword. He says he possesses wisdom and he can help you with protection, but you're going to have to call on him. He's not giving me his name. It's showing up blank because it's almost like he wants you to name him. John?
Yeah. I almost had it. It's I feel like it started with a C. Or maybe just that sound, maybe like a K sound. Yeah, I don't know.
Late
But I can
on.
see him. And it's interesting. Yeah, I think the reason they said I wasn't going to get it because I wouldn't understand it. It's hard for me to pick out like the strange names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if it's a normal name, like if his name was Carl, I wouldn't have any problem picking that up.
Give yourself
Uh,
Carl, motherfucker.
Could. Carl would work. That's funny.
To everyone watching, when your guides are like, you could give them all these crazy names. I mean, I got one over here. He's laughing at me. He's got a kind of crazy name, but they don't really give a shit if you call them pink salmon, or salmon head. Well, they might care about that, but the point is that you call them whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, they're just happy to work with you and that you are able to perceive them in some way, that your awareness has improved to that point most of the time.
Next up, we have two from Soul Treats. And
Okay.
Michelle, I can't see who the second person is. So you're going to have to let me know with your messenger since I can't see any comments. Sorry about that. Also, Don, if you're on the feed, yes, we are accepting lists. It's $33 donation, Cosmic Healings and Readings, and it's linked in there. I did check it. And yeah, just donate and we'll put you on the list. Michelle floating around, I'm not sure. So I'm not seeing her in the feed, but I know she's here somewhere.
Okay.
We'll start with her. I think it's going to be John. You think you got this?
Yep. I can go first. It's cool with me. Michelle's highest good. Michelle's highest good. Highest good. Highest good. Highest good. Highest good. There we go. One more time for Michelle. There we go. All right, Michelle, got you here. Interesting. I was going to pull two cards out of that, but the one's where I need to be. And I'm going to use these two cards that fell out of this moon deck here. When they jump out at you, you better listen. Okay. This card interests me, Michelle. This is a Guardian Angel card. It's the only card in the entire deck that says Angel on it. And the message is you are not alone. So I ask you, Michelle, where is it that you've been feeling the most alone? Feel like you don't have support in what you're doing? Interesting. Or, I mean, she has to know that she has support from spirit, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to jump in on this one.
Yeah. Do you want to jump in now, or you want me to do these other two cards first?
Yeah, go ahead and jump in. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you tackle that one. There's very interesting energy there. For whatever reason, it must be you that's supposed to get it. So here's one that might trigger you just a hair. It's saying, don't let your pride get in the way. Okay. Don't let your pride get in the way. So I was speaking earlier about programming, and that's immediately what I heard whenever I picked this card up was programming. Where are you programmed to feel pride that it's necessary to let go of at this time? Where is pride no longer serving you? Where has it become unhealthy? Okay. That's just, they're being really vague with stuff right now. Really vague. I can talk to Michelle on the phone, and like as soon as we start talking, I'm getting like answer after answer after answer,
Yeah.
and like, but I'm doing this reading for you, and they're being like really vague. Um, so that being said, Michelle, this is what you've been looking for. A new start is coming. And I'm getting the impression that it's like a spring card, like you've been planting seeds and those seeds are about to sprout. Um, and it's going to change your life, like the way you perceive it, some of what you're doing with your time, and where you're going, whatever that means. They left that one open ended, like where you're going. I don't know if that means like a location change in the future as well. Um, but yeah, a new start is coming. Thomas, you want to go?
Yeah. Michelle, you're shifting around a bit. It's almost like you're jumping in different dimensions. Not on purpose, though. That's why it's getting John a hard time to look at you, because I've been watching the energy. Whenever I have two decks out and I can't decide which one it is. Just a little pattern I noticed. It's like tells me something's going on with that. But they're saying you're not conscious of it. But what's interesting is I pulled out these angel deck cards. Now, some of them are backwards. Now, normally I'd flip them upside down, but they deserve to be backwards. But the first card is the gift of love and light. They need you to understand on some level you feel like there's a lot of dark forces around you that are trying to hold you back. Maybe those dark forces you feel may be part of yourself or your own ego. They're saying, remember that you're supported. The gift of love and light. Obviously, this angel is upright and severely supported. They're saying, looking at the damages that you've suffered in your life, because there's great understanding and the correct verbiage. Okay, Thomas, I don't mean to trigger you. And the torment that you have possibly gone through, correction. And remember that you are on the precipice of change. Now, what I want you to do is speak words of love. You see, this is upside down, so it's telling me that you're not speaking the words of love to yourself. And there is a moon on this, and every card that John pulled had a moon on it. So remember that you need to be the one out in nature, because nature leads to nurturing your soul. But they're saying take the time to actually, I know it's cold where you're at, but take the time to really stand outside. And this looks like the sea to me. You're near the sea. Might be a little cold, but they're saying a couple layers is not going to hurt anything for you to be warm. Sit on the sand and relax into the energy of the earth. And energy.
There we go.
Let's bring in Archangel Jeremiah. The dragons of the fairies surround me. Boom. Calling my galactic guides. Oh, I see one of your guides. I'll get to that. Now, connect them. Saying breathe, 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 breathe. Whew. Okay. This one was also upside down. These are all angels. Move boldly into a golden future. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. It's a very heavy, I don't know who these beings are, but they're definitely angels. They're very high angels, they're saying. but they're angels of nurturing your spirit. I'll show you the card. Of nurturing growth. You've worked with them in many other lifetimes. And on the other side, obviously. But you're kind of connected with them. It's you're a builder, a grower, they're saying. You can grow into whatever you wish to become. Understand that you have the abilities to transcend space and time and walk past any barriers, but they're saying there is a time and a place to sit still. I feel like relaying the story to you, Michelle. I talked about my friend earlier. He's of a mind that all of these things, even though he listens to channelers and all this stuff, he's very interested in ancient aliens, all that stuff. But he's always meditating. He's always still for a few minutes. He gets regrounded in himself. And that helps him align his entire body and his chakras and his energy. Saying there's many different tools in your toolbox that you've yet to discover. But it wasn't time. Now is the time to start tapping into them one by one. On some level, I don't know where this is coming from. I'm hearing it's more of a mental energy and it's going on in your mind, but it feels like you're a bit of a fish out of water. But they're saying that it's something that's going on in your mind right now and emotionally. But you're starting to see the growth potential. Saying this is the seeds of new growth for you. This will help you break into an energy that will help you flourish. I'm seeing flowers blooming everywhere, pink flowers. So you may want to look up what the rose symbology is in spirituality. Radical self-forgiveness for things that you had nothing to do with, that you agreed to when you incarnated here. You have to understand that everything you've gone through had a role to play. I've had to deal with that myself. Knowing that certain obstacles I went through, it's triggering me a bit. Certain obstacles I went through were, I planned them out to happen on purpose because it would help me grow. But it's up to us if we grow into that energy or move away from it. But you're already moving into it, they're saying. Tentatively, which is fine. It's better than walking away, like a lot of people do on this earth. When they see pain, they walk away from the pain. They don't walk into the pain. John, anything to add to that?
No. No, I don't have anything to add to that.
I'm going to check PayPal real quick. So guys,
I do.
Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, I do know who the other donation from Soul Treats was for. There's a comment.
Yeah.
So when you're ready for that.
You can go ahead and start with her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were getting into something else. Okay, so we've got Nikki Berry up next. Nikki Berry. All right, Nikki, give me just a second here. Nikki's highest good, highest good. Tap me into that energy, please. There she is. Okay. Nikki's highest good, highest good, highest good, highest good. One more shuffle here, Nikki, and we'll get going. It's funny. I was just thinking about somebody on the way down here named Nikki that I haven't thought of in a while, years. Interesting. We're going to pull another card out of this deck. Let me shuffle one more time. Nikki's highest good, please. Okay. Interesting. Okay, both of these, I'm picking up the same energy off of both of these cards. So I'm going to show them to you, Nikki. First, here we have the Sky Father. Okay, the Sky Father. Take a moment and focus on that card and the energy present. Okay, and the message on that card is trust in the unknown. Okay, trust in the unknown. The feeling that I'm getting surrounding this card, Nikki, is you're worried about the state of the world, okay, and like everything that's going on. And sometimes it makes you uncomfortable to have like what you feel like is no factual information, because you can get online and see one end of the spectrum and then see the other end of the spectrum and how like they completely disagree. And it's very hard to discern the truth, if there is even any truth in a lot of these things that we're seeing right now. So I understand like the concern that is built around the state of the world, especially when we have like conspiracy theories and the media, all fear mongering, you know, and creating like just this, attempting to create like a mass hysteria, you know, and we get kind of drawn into that and sucked into that. But trust in the unknown, okay? Like trust that all of this stuff is playing out the way that it's designed to, the way that it's meant to, and we can't see it. We're not supposed to see it fully. The truth will be revealed eventually, but right now everybody's guessing. Even the psychics get information that like still leaves them with more questions than it does answers a lot of times. Okay, so the most that we can do is work on ourselves during these times and trust that we're going to end up where we need to be when the time comes, whatever that time is, whenever the world changes, whatever shifts takes place, whatever, when ascension happens, you know, whatever it is that's coming. Trust that you're being guided and protected and that you are on the right path. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to show you this next card. This is the broken arrow, and it says embrace the energy of peace. Okay, embrace the energy of peace. And that is so important right now because there's so many people up in arms about different things. Everybody's trying to pick a side and they're all angry because they're unwilling to allow others to have their own opinions and their own life. And then whenever stuff starts getting like forcefully pushed on them, like they want to turn around and push their stuff back, but there's always a third way. There's always a loving way to approach these situations. There's always a peaceful way to approach these situations. There's a way to be or to carry that peace out into the world and to the people in your lives and affect them with that peace. Okay, affect them with that peace. You have, oh, they're saying you have like a lot of transmutation power, like you naturally transmute energy. Okay, so not only does your behavior and the energy you're putting out affect the people around you, so does your ability to transmute. So you don't really see how powerful you are or how big of an impact you can have. There was at one point in time in my life where like I was asking questions all the time, like, well, where's my abilities? What's my gifts? You know, like, and then I got told by spirit, they're like, well, you transmute, like you transmute mass amounts of energy. And I was just like, that's bullshit. Like, I want something that's flashy. Like, I want something that's big, you know, like I want to lift a fucking car off of the ground with telekinesis, you know? And I didn't really see how valuable it was until a time came where I began to start seeing that transmutation in my life. And then I received a vision that showed how powerful that transmutation and how we can transmute the energy for entire crowds of people whenever we embrace that energy, embody that energy. Okay. So you're carrying that out into the world, out into this crazy, out into this unknown, and it's time that you saw that. Okay, it's time that you saw that. Um, I think I'm good there, Thomas. I think I'm good, buddy.
Okay, Nikki. I'm hearing "Darling Nikki." I don't know who sings that. Like,
Gosh, Prince, and then the Foo Fighters. Was it Prince?
yeah, maybe it's Prince. You need to look up that song, Nikki. "Darling Nikki."
It's it's not a nice song.
I don't know why. It's playing in my head, like they're saying. Well, they're playing the words, the title. So number one, Nikki, retreat from the. I'm seeing three things in order. So retreat from the outside world. Number one, I want you to. I've given this advice before, Nikki. I've had to do it as well. Sometimes I go camping by myself. I want you to find a place that gets you away from the energy that you're already in. Because, life can be hard and the things around us can affect us, but actually have the space to actually move away from that. Because when that happens, you're going to acknowledge God's truth. Source is truth, it's all verbiage. You're going to acknowledge your true mission, acknowledge why you're really here. Because there's some truths that you're holding in your mind about religion, metaphysics, some stuff from past lifetimes, especially around the time of Egypt, Ra. Ra was a bunch of different people. But they're saying that you've had some ideas so from past lifetimes, these ideas can move forward into other lifetimes. Just as powers can move into other lifetimes that you've had in past lifetimes. The same thing can happen with thought forms and ways that you're thinking. And they're saying there's nothing wrong with this, it's part of your path. Now, someone commented that you have, well, that's an interesting name you have there, this girl in the last comment.
I saw that.
Yeah, that tells me who I need to call in. So, hold on. You were once a prince in Ethiopia. This has something to do with all of this. This is why Prince came up. You were once a prince in Ethiopia. There was a famine that came across the land. And on some level, you blamed yourself for it. Because you were the prince, they're your subjects. You feel like you were, you had to protect them. But at the same time, it's not about that. You're carrying some of this energy of protecting other people into this lifetime, from this lifetime. But the prince in Ethiopia, he couldn't do anything about this. It was part of his soul contract. That's why he incarnated here. It was a lesson to be learned. So by retreating, you're going to see that some of these ideas that are serving you now, what you're thinking, what you're believing, and me and John know this. We've all been through this. It is what it is. We all have these ideas about things, and we have to let them go, and they suck, and it hurts, and that's just part of life. But as before with the previous person we read for, you need to breathe. 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 Nikki, breathe. So, seeing what works and what no longer works for you and moving out of that energy is going to be very important for you at this time. They want me to send some angels to you, but I'm going to get to that last. But it's acknowledging God's truth, which is your truth, because you are a part of God. You are a part of Source. And I feel on some level that you've also felt like you know, the churches teach us that we're separate, but we're not. We're all connected. We're all one with the greatest energy of the universe, the great, clarify that for me. The great architect. That's the word I was looking for. The great creator. We are all one. It's just that society has taught us that we are not connected. We are not the same. But you will realize this by getting into a different environment. I'm going to recommend something for you, and it's up to you. I would spend about 2 hours a day in darkness, not laying down. Not a day, one day. They're saying one day. One day, 2 hours in darkness, in a place that you don't even know. Like, turn off the lights, all they're saying. And sit down and think about what's working. I'm seeing you with a notepad writing your thoughts. I'd recommend you do this beforehand. Before you go to bed, spend 5 to 10 minutes writing down what's just coming into your mind. Keep a journal, they're saying. So you have a better idea of what needs to be looked at. But by taking you into a new energy outside of your home situation, it's going to help you realize more of what reality really is. And it's hard for us, Nikki. It is hard for us sometimes to do these things because we're so conditioned to be ruled by distraction. That's exactly what some of these forces want that are on this planet, is distraction, messing with things, making people afraid, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. But what it leads to is what's important. One of my favorite cards is Legacy of Light. And with that, it's like you're in between right now, right here. The child turns into the adept with the teacher. Sorry, they're being more specific, which turns into the master. Now you're going to need some of Metatron's help as well as Melchizedek. You can look up who they are, his ascended masters. We also have Lord Ashtar here. He just wants to watch, he's saying. So Melchizedek, Metatron, and you have 10 angels around you bowing. They're trying to show you your significance of your importance, because a lot of times we don't see how important we really are. Interesting. They keep bowing. You also come from a royal, like a Syrian bloodline, they're saying. There's something I'm missing, though. John, I feel you have something to add, but give me a second. Yes, thank you. This is a new birth for you. You're already stepping into it. Guard it diligently. There's going to be some people that are going to tell you that it's, maybe a little nutty, maybe whatever. I say they're a little nutty, they're stupid. Remember that it's your journey, it's your path, and all that matters is what you think. And that is my reading.
Yeah, I don't think I really have anything to add. I just wanted to reiterate on something I touched on and you touched on, and that's just it's time to start seeing yourself in a higher light, Nikki. You have way more power than you realize, and you're needed here. Okay, so start stepping into that authority that is yours to take. You have things to do. You have things you can do, and the only way you're going to get there is by doing them. So step forward.
Archangel Azrael make an appearance. He wants to work with you directly. So it's telling me that you have the ability to cross over spirits. Azrael crosses over negative beings, spirits, all kinds of things. He's one of my go-tos, one tool in my toolbox that I call on. And they're also saying that it's time to shuffle the cards in your life as I'm shuffling these cards. So we're calling in Archangel Azrael. He wants to help you specifically. So I want you to look up what he does, because he does much more than cross ghost over.
Yes, interesting energy.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's very it's like he's Archangel Azrael, but he also has some like other energy attached to him.
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense energy. So be prepared.
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
They're saying, but don't be scared though.
Right. I'm not saying, yeah, yeah. Don't be scared. Just be prepared.
Be prepared.
Like, it's intense energy.
Yeah, he's going to help you specifically. He's asking to talk to your guides at this time. Oh, and number 2, Nikki, have the faith to walk through new doors.
Yep.
It'll be presented to you. You know, a lot of things can be presented to you. It's up to you if you take it or not and run with it. But sometimes those doors they may reopen later, years later, day later, month later. You just don't know. But you might see some things starting to change really fast. I'm hearing you will. Yes, that's the reading. Next, we have Yvonne French.
Yvonne French. Hello, Yvonne. How are you? Glad you made it. You want to start, or you want me to start?
I'm going to check a few things, so you can go for it.
You bet. Tap me in to Yvonne's energy, please. There we go. There you are. All right, Yvonne. See what we got for you here. We're going to pull out of this dragon deck first. So, something that I have been noticing recently. I have been noticing it in myself, and I have noticed it in a bunch of readings that I have done. There is some serious shit going on with our throat chakras right now. Like a lot. We're really being forced to look at the story that we're telling ourselves about our life. Okay. And the story that we're telling others about our life, about our life and about their lives. So, Yvonne, the reason I brought that up, it does happen to be a collective message, but it's also for you. I am feeling that you need to be very aware of the things that you are vocalizing at this time. And when I say vocalizing, I mean the things that are coming out of your mouth and the things that you're telling yourself. Okay. There is a shift in consciousness that you are preparing to go through. They're saying it's a shift of understanding and perception is the main two places where this will have effect. Okay. Collectively, for sure. And they're saying you'll be given a bigger picture. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to show you this first card. I pulled a couple dragon cards for you. We have the air and water dragon. Okay. Air and water dragon. And the message on this card is that it helps you connect to higher frequencies. Okay. That's kind of the shift that I was just talking about. Okay. The shift in consciousness, you're going to be connecting in with higher frequencies, and they're going to be giving you more truth, but you have to let go of the old shit in order to see it. Okay. So trust your intuition, develop your psychic abilities. I really feel like this has to do with communication with spirit in some way, shape, or form, like maybe better understanding the messages that you're getting. Okay, that's where it feels like that focus should be. So some exercises on your crown, your causal, and your third eye chakras and throat. So all these up here, okay, is where your focus needs to be at this time. I know that whenever I started really receiving messages clearly, I had beings around me working on those 4 chakras like around the clock. Okay. So that's kind of what you're walking into at this time. Be open to enlightenment and express your inner song. Again, that goes right here, throat chakra. Okay. Next that I have for you, Yvonne, this is the Omega Dragon. Okay. And this is a badass dragon. Like, the message here is divine harnesses the divine feminine power of creation. Okay, the divine feminine power of creation. Ooh, that creation feels like your life. Like, isn't it time that you create the life that you deserve?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hold your vision. They're saying that you already have a good idea as to what it is that your heart wants for you. Somewhat. They're saying like 50-50. You have an idea, but it's going to take some focus to figure it out a little bit. But hold that vision and set intention. Okay. And the last message on this card is birth higher consciousness, which is a confirmation because it brought it full circle all the way back to where I started at. Okay. So set intent to go through this expansion and this growth and to begin creating the life that you deserve, and go from there, Yvonne. And Thomas, you want to jump in here? I might come back, but
Talked about higher consciousness. They want me to make this triad. Anunnaki, light energy. Anunnaki energy. Huh.
That's interesting.
Jesus, Mother Mary. There. Anunnaki, Jesus, Mother Mary, connect. Triangle, now. You know, it used to be a Valkyrie. If you've ever seen Thor, the Hulk one, whichever one that is. But
Ragnarok.
Yeah, they have Valkyries in there. And Valkyries did exist. There's not many people on Earth that have been Valkyries. They're elite warriors, I'm hearing. They almost look like griffins to me. You've also connected in with what looks like a. You remember wrestling when you had the red cape?
Yes.
The neutral
Yeah,
mage,
okay.
but it looks like a red cape, but with a druid attached to it.
Interesting.
It's like a neutral druid lifetime. I'm seeing this male. He's holding a staff.
I feel like that red cape is really important.
Yeah.
Like it was a special sect.
Yeah. Saying it was one of the avatars of life. This message is getting interesting. But you were one of the avatars of life, connecting in with different energies that would further develop the Earth's planet or plant system and the Earth's understanding how to work with medicinal plants, as well as understanding how to work with the energies of the earth and the human collective. When you were in this lifetime, he's saying, you used to teach this to other people. People talk about grid workers and people that work on ley lines, etc. You used to do this as well. This lifetime of yours, and he's also a guide. He's a version of you. They would teach people many different things, he's saying, as well as connecting in with earth-based magic that would help further the planet and human consciousness as one. I feel that if you were to get around the moon when it's in a new phase or a waning phase, they're saying, and sit outside for a couple of hours, even though it's cold. I'm hearing where you're at. And really just sit down with the energy and tap into it and feel the moon's energy. It's going to help guide you. You have to have Cancer somewhere in your astrology chart because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and I'm seeing the sign of Cancer over and over again. But the moon definitely has this effect where it's going to help bring back some of this knowledge. You may not consciously realize it, but you will when it later on. Like the pieces will start to come together. The timeline with this is tricky. It could be a day, it could be a month, it could be 2 months, it could be a year, but it doesn't matter, they're saying. What matters is that the knowledge is there when it's available for you to tap into it. Now, to get back to your general state right now, I had to go very multidimensional, is take care of the little things right now. There's a lot of little things in your life that you just need to get in order. Saying order is going to open the very I'm talking very high, I apologize. Is going to order the very fabric of reality for you to step forward into a new definition of yourself. You also have access to dragons. You've worked with them before in the Palladian star system, as well as farther out. So you have these access to higher beings that a couple of other people share, but not a lot. So a lot of us have a specific skill set that taps into different energies. And you're one of these people that can help bring this energy into the earth. And you may not totally, as John talked about earlier, you have this with ascension, you may not see it now, but you're definitely going to see it later. They're saying one of the important things for you, for an emotional standpoint, is to put down anything that is hindering you. At least start walking into that energy. But it's also time for you to remember that you're a child and to be innocent like a child and to look at the world like a child. And what's funny is I keep throwing these cards in every which direction, which to me is telling to discard the old and walk into the new, as John said earlier. Interesting. They're saying, what do you want, dear? Commit to a spirit of excellence. Whatever that is, that will bring you into a higher vibration of light. And from there, you will move mountains.
Yeah, I want to go back just to a couple of things that you were talking about. Back to the red robe and all of that, Yvonne, what I kept hearing over and over was the power of creation. And that is a very expansive power, and not a lot of people have that. Okay. So know what you're working with. You can do great things. Move those mountains, create new mountains if you want to. Okay. Power of creation is something that you hold within you. And that's reserved for specific individuals, the kind of individuals that would be allowed to be a Valkyrie. But yeah, with that, I believe I am complete. You're good, Thomas?
Yeah, so we're doing $33 dimensional healings and readings. Donation is linked above and in the comments. Donation link to PayPal. Next up, we have Tammy Simmons.
Tammy.
Since I don't have any comments, I don't think she's on the stream.
Yeah, she was on the Facebook at the beginning. I don't know if she's still there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And she is here. She says hello, Tammy. Tammy. I guess I'll use the dragon cards because I dumped them out of the box before I was even thinking about it. Before I realized what I was doing. Tap me into Tammy's energy, please. Tammy's highest good. 10 to set. Thank you. Tammy's highest good. They're saying that your health is important at this time, and there should be some focus there. Okay. No details they're saying. They're just saying in general, you are aware of your health, whatever's going on, and take care of it. Okay. Take care of it. So we have two cards here, Tammy. This first one, the aquamarine dragons from Neptune. Okay. And I work with these beings quite a bit. I usually call them in before the lives or readings sometimes because they really help me to boost my psychic abilities. But the message on this card, and obviously, Tammy, I was telling you that for a reason. Okay. The message on this card enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Okay. Your deepest soul wisdom. They don't want me to touch it right now. They want you to go within and access this information. I'm hearing meditation and prayer, both would be beneficial, but they're leaning more towards meditation with the intent of accessing divine soul level wisdom. Okay. Says spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Like I'm saying, develop your psychic abilities and receive soul knowledge. Okay, develop your psychic ability. And so, like I said, well, I guess that's why I was saying this, is I call on these beings because they really assist me for these lives and stuff, and before I do sessions for individuals as well. They really help me to get the message clearly a lot of times, and to understand it accurately. And I know that that's interesting. Even though it's difficult to see information about yourself, sometimes when you can see information about other people because you are developing your psychic gifts, they're little puzzle pieces for you. Those other people are part of your puzzle. Okay. So pay attention to where the information comes from. Just because it may be coming from a different person, and I'm talking about something maybe you're just picking up, doesn't mean that it isn't your soul's wisdom that you're recognizing. Okay. So be open to receiving information in different forms. And they're saying knowing, like a sense of knowing, claircognizance for sure. Okay. A sense of knowing. So next, Tammy, this fits really well with that. This is the earth and air dragon. All right. So represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. We have things to do. Okay. Like we have a life. Okay. And we need to live it. We need to be, some people have to, work. You may have to go shopping. You may have friends, but you need to live life. But there also needs to be time for you to do things like the meditation. And so I don't know which way you're out of balance right now. I can feel that there's a tipping of the scales, but there has to be a balance between the practicality and the practical and the spiritual side of life. Okay, has to be a difference or a balance. So it says stay balanced, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. Okay, so a lot of times we receive that guidance through our spiritual gifts, through our psychic abilities, through the pieces of the puzzles that we're given. But if we don't do anything with them, if we don't ground them into our reality, how can we expect to manifest everything? It's like saying, okay, I don't know what that sound was. It really threw me off. Like maybe it was like telling me to shut up.
I can jump in if you need me to.
Yeah, go for it.
Tammy, what they're saying is that it's very
Dark and
important
clear.
what your guides are saying. My guides, your guides, two different sets. It's time to turn the page. They want to be very masculine. It's time for you to turn the page. So there's some things you're holding on to from the past. They're talking what John talked about with dietary needs. Some things to let go of, people especially that are oh shit, sorry. Throat chakra, dear. You need to open that. Look at my fingers, dear. Open, release, recalibrate, light. Just like that. That hit about 5 people at once. Okay, so including me. Thank you. Okay, so whew. Okay, so letting go of these things is going to help you. We all have a choice. We're human. Sometimes I tell my guides to jump off a cliff. Like, leave me alone. I want to watch the Rockford Files all day long. But it's not really working for me anymore. So what I'm getting at is there's definitely things that need to be addressed because you hold the blueprint for the Akashic Records. Not many people hold the blueprint for the Akashic Records. You're going to have to probably look up what the Akashic Records is. They're saying maybe even look into the book on Audible, Edgar Casey on the Akashic Records. He has some book where he channeled information all about the Akashic Records. I have my own little place there, whatever. But you have a blueprint, so you have access to the Akashic Records. Not everyone has access, well, full access at least, where they can see everything that has and hasn't happened. You also have the ability to channel information like Thomas, just differently, like John, just differently. We're all different in this respect. But remember that you can tap into these things, but they're definitely showing the body over and over again. Heart chakra, sacral chakra, root chakra, solar plexus chakra. Understanding that you've got to stay within your body because there's many times where you're detaching yourself from reality. This could be through, dare I say, alcohol or marijuana or something of this nature. I'm not really sure. But you're doing something that's detaching yourself. They want you really to get grounded. I would recommend something like Tai Chi or Jiu-Jitsu or anything that's going to get your body moving, that's more masculine, I'm hearing. As John recommended meditation, in my opinion, that's a much more masculine form of energy. Prayer is much more feminine. Like me and John would probably excel with meditation, but prayer would also help us excel in a different way, in a more feminine energy. This is like prayers asking, meditation's kind of receiving, is what I'm hearing. Remember that you are supported by divine forces, even if you don't understand it. There's some lifetime you had another planet, Tammy. It's not Tammy, I'm sorry, Dawn. I'm jumping back.
No, we're on Tammy.
Yeah, Tammy.
Tammy Simmons.
Yeah, sorry. But I'm seeing these beings around you. They're presenting themselves. They look aquatic. They're green. They have fins on their head, on their arms.
Oh, so like possibly something like this.
Yes. More humanoid, but green, yes.
Right, but yeah, with the fins and yeah. Interesting.
From another life, another planet, more specifically, maybe possibly on the Earth plane at some point. Yeah, there are many beings that have been around they don't talk about. Getting another planet, though, they're being more specific. But maybe they came to Earth as well. I don't know how. That's for you to find out, they're saying. It's held in the Akashic Record for you if you so wish to see. And with that, what do I need to do here? Bring in her vibration or her energy. Like that. Connect up. Fields of energy, spirals. Thank you. Release, recalibrate, light. Like that. Christ light, Buddha light, Arcturian light. There we go. Ooh, I'm burning up in fire, John.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay. Whew. Ground. Thank you. And with that, Tammy, thank you for being here, dear. Next up, we have Dawn. And let me get our last name. And guys, we have $33 donation, multi-dimensional readings and healings. This is Dawn Kalin, Kalin. I'm not the best with names, reading them off, so much more better hearing it.
You got a commenter? Is she here?
She is in my PayPal.
Okay.
Are y'all new at okay? Hold on, Don. Give me a second. I'm gonna have some fun for a second. Nathaniel Parker, are y'all new at reading? Just curious. Nothing but love. No, sir. I've been doing this for a long time. Me and John do house clearings for a living, and I've been a psychic for like 5 or 6 years. I've trained under master teachers and been attuned to many forms of healing. And my readings go very high. They're saying, my guides are laughing that I'm doing this. Because I'm going to do it because this is a little insulting, my friend. Anyways, so I'm not going to be an a-hole about it. Sir, this is my full-time job. People come to me all the time. I charge like $125 an hour. Me and John can make like 500 on house clearings or $1,000. The point is that yeah, it is what it is. I'm also a medium, a trance channel, and you know, my guys are saying it's not nice, and they're not telling me to stop. Thank you. Okay, it's not nice to be insulting. And this is, you know, John, I had a TikTok. Don, I'm sorry. We'll get right to you, dear. I had a TikTok recently where, you know, people love watching me live. So I was like, I'm just going to call out like lower density healers. And I just did it. And for like 383 views, I have like 50 likes or whatever it's at right now. Because people really resonate with the message because I'm acting like I'm acting now. I'm calling bullshit for bullshit. So, no, we are not new at reading. If you would like to get on a live with me, feel free. And, you know, whatever, man. This is the energy I picked up. You got some shit going on, brother. You might want to donate because I can clear about anything. Anyways, peace out, my friend.
Okay. So back to it. Dawn, you said Dawn. Let's talk to Dawn, okay? Let's see here. You want to go first, or you want me to go first on this?
You go first. I got all fiery.
Sure. All right. Dawn. So you said you don't see her in the feed anywhere. She feels absent.
Yeah.
All right. Tap me into Dawn's energy, please. Dawn's highest good. There we go. Dawn's high. Oh, she's sitting. Okay. Dawn's highest good. There it is. Let's see what we got here. That's feeling work related and collective, family, all things. Okay. Gotcha. Let me get a couple more cards for Don here so I get started. Don's highest good, please. Highest good, highest good, highest good, highest good. Let's do one more card here. Or one more shuffle. There we go. I know it takes me forever, but I don't care. 3 shuffles is where it's at for me. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So, Dawn, I got 2 cards here to start with. The first one I pulled is the Shaolin Master. Okay. The Shaolin Master. And the message on this card is be graceful in movement and action. And movement and action. Okay. And immediately I had a view in some sort of like work related environment. I don't know if it's a job or if it's volunteer work or something, but that sort of environment. And then I saw you with family, and I was like, oh, well, maybe she needs to be graceful there instead. And then I saw you somehow, I don't know how to describe it exactly, but interacting with the collective. Okay. So this card made its way into these 3 aspects of your life, these 3 areas in your life. Okay. And there's there's a shift going on with you at this time to where you are processing a lot. You're processing a lot of emotions, and a pattern tonight has been throat chakra and programming and releasing programming. And I'm feeling that within you as well, Don. Okay. So the message is be graceful in movement and action. Sometimes whenever we're going through these shifts, it can be difficult to act with wisdom. Okay. Because it's difficult to tell up from down and right from left. And we can get strung out a little bit and worn out, and it can be difficult to navigate at times. Okay, so be aware, please. Be aware of the feelings and your emotions, and take time to step back and view them objectively, so that you can act in a way that conveys the class that you are. Okay, the classiness that you carry. All right. So that being said, I drew the second card, and I mean, it fits. It fits, Don. A personal issue reaches resolution. Okay, and a lot of times that could be like issues with people in your life and situations in your life. Okay, but when it said personal issue, like I really felt your energy, the energy that you are. It's something going on within you that is changing, shifting, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, so you're coming up on the end of that. No, they're saying that the end is only the beginning. The end is only the beginning. So you're shifting, yes, but you are, back up, please. Thank you. You're shifting, and there is an ending near, but it's a new beginning. So, oh, okay, some more. How you decide to behave and act through this shift determines where you come out on the other side. So be aware of your actions and behaviors and thoughts and beliefs, and act with that class and wisdom and gracefulness and peacefulness, okay, through this shift that is you. And with that, I would like to let Thomas jump in if you're ready, friend.
I'm just doing some weird stuff with this one.
Okay. You want me to draw another card for her?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All All right, we're going to go with the Archangel deck. Don, Archangel deck for you. Let's see what we got here. Dawn's highest good, highest good, highest good. Let's see what we got here. I know there's people out there. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. I saw something. I had a notification pop up during this live that said, you don't have to defend yourself if you don't want to. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody if you don't want to. Like, just do what you're fucking doing and don't worry about anybody else. So Dawn, I pulled out 2 cards here. First one, we've got Lady Gaia, okay? And the message on this card is that you are well loved and welcome on Earth, and that your challenges are lessons, okay? That's the big one here for me, is that the challenges are lessons. This ending that you're going through and the new beginnings, it's filled with challenges, but not of a negative kind. I know that the challenges often has like a negative connotation tied to it, but that's not the case. Like, these are challenges that were designed for you by you, okay? Boo boo. You remember that clothing line back in the day?
Boo boo, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right on. So yeah, this next one here, I don't have any idea how to say this guy's name, okay? But I will definitely share the message with you and how it ties in with your energy, Dawn. Be conscientious. Be conscientious. Cooperate with others for the highest good. So that, my friend, is confirmation on everything that we've pulled so far. You're going through a shift. It's a big personal thing. Consciousness expansion, kind of like we talked about with someone earlier. And cooperate with others for the highest good. Move gracefully, okay, peacefully, and with intent. And with that, Thomas, I'm complete.
Okay. Don, I'm gonna need you to breathe. I'm mirroring your energy, so just breathe there. I was doing healing with a wand for a bunch of people at once, but specifically you. Number one, Don, sometimes we can be a prisoner of our past. And as John was talking about moving into a new energy, we have to see how the past defines us. We also see how the past frees us. Because sometimes we blame ourselves for things that happen to us, even though we shouldn't be blaming ourselves. And most importantly, what seems to be a recurring theme is listening for truth, which I'm just going to show you the card. But listening for truth. You're walking into this inner knowledge, this inner knowing. Used to be a monk, and saying within silence you will find your greatest answers. I've said this before, we're conditioned a lot of times to have a million different things going on, but not to sit in silence. A million different distractions, a million different things. Don't beat yourself up for this, because you've beaten yourself up way too long. We all have. As soon as I said that, John, I could feel my emotional chakra like twitching.
Yep.
Yeah.
It opened some stuff up. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And number one, I feel like you've been through some abuse. Let's just put it simple. I don't want to get too deep into it. Still, understand that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. We've all been through abuse in different ways, but it's not your fault. You're building yourself into a new person. You've taken the necessary steps to start moving into this energy. Remember that you are a child of God, of the Most High. That anything that you start building can become an empire. Channeling. But I want you to start looking at, what do you feel? What do you feel? I'm not getting a lot. I'm just getting more with the past. So I guess this is what I need to tell you, Don. Time is not linear. It's happening in the past, the present, and the future all at one time. Now we can move into the past and get stuck there. I had a habit, not so much anymore, but I still do it a little bit, where I see what the future is and I get stuck there. Instead of being in the present and working with what we have now, because it builds the foundation. You're moving more into the present moment, they're saying. But it builds us a foundation for growth. They're showing me a ladder. It's like rung 3 out of 11. But each rung that you start to climb up, you're going to start moving more into a greater awareness of who you truly are. You have a lot of dragons and angels and other beings around you. Doesn't feel like the most important message to tell you, though. They just want you to know they're there. So in spirituality and anything in life, one of the most important lessons we have to learn is how to master ourselves. Not that I am no master at this by any stretch. I'm sure John isn't either. I'm sure most of watching isn't either. But it's one of the most important lessons to learn. To master our emotions, to master our thoughts, to master our being. Most importantly, I'm hearing. It came out really strong. I feel this heartbreak with you, Dawn. And I can sympathize. It's like a past love. Maybe somebody died. Is what I'm picking up. I'm seeing a man around you. He's in his teenage years. I'm saying this will make sense to you. Could have been anybody. Could have been a family member. Could have been a friend. Accident. I keep hearing. He's making his presence known. Okay, go. Go. Thank you. Thank you. Close. Say, most importantly, remember not to blame yourself. This is the thing. So, Dawn, a lot of times, I don't know if this even resonates with you, but I have a feeling it does, is that when people die, we have a tendency to blame ourselves. We have a tendency to think that we could have done something to change the outcome. When in reality, there's not much we could have done. And when I connect people with people on the other side, I don't channel it. I just have them talk to them directly. They always say the same thing. They were like, I was a human. I didn't understand what I was doing. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I want peace. I want you to be at peace. But I need to tell you that message. Because he came through pretty strong. Male, definitely a male. Close the door. So, but I sense this heartbreak too. It has to do on many different levels. I'm seeing like a heart, John, and I'm seeing like different levels of it, different going around it in a circle.
Sure.
Different points. And the alarm goes off again. So I'm triggering her too much, they're saying. Dawn, I apologize if I am triggering you. That's not my intention. I'm just trying to give you the messages that I'm being brought. What's most important for you is in this time right now is patience is its own reward. Have patience with yourself. You're going through an extreme time of learning, an extreme time of walking into who you truly are. What I did with that wand is going to help you a lot. That wand can pull in many energies. John, you have anything to?
Yeah, Don, they're asking you. They're asking, who taught you to be so hard on yourself?
Yeah.
Who taught you to be so hard on yourself? And look at the programming there, ways that you were affected and misaligned. Okay, but that's all I want to add.
Yeah, Don, I get it. I do it to myself. I'm sure John does too. But we have to give ourselves some leeway and understand that life is a journey. It's not a destination. Yes.
That can be a hard pill to swallow.
I'm going to check something real quick. Okay, beautiful. Figure that'd be the case. With that, we are complete for today. And John, if you want to talk about anything, I don't
know. Let's see here. Do I want to talk about anything? I'll be putting some posts up tomorrow, videos, and Christmas specials. And I think, Thomas, you're planning on running some sort of Christmas special as well. So we'll be putting posts up about that, and working with you guys, whatever time we can to work with your schedules. We know it's a busy time of year and there's a lot going on. So yeah, that's going on. And then there's a lot going on in the collective right now, but it's time for us to be centered and home and make the most of this season that is upon us. Okay, like with this Christmas shit that's so commercialized and everything, like just take time to be with your loved ones and be ready for things to play out in sometimes fiery and sometimes unexpected ways, or both. So we'll probably see you again next week. Are we going live next week, Thomas?
It'll be about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, so we may or may not see you before Christmas, or maybe we'll go live individually or with other people. Whatever happens. But yeah, so I'm John Atlas. You can find me on Facebook at Atlas Ascension Alignments, or you can find me on the World Wide Web at johnatlas.net. Okay, and Thomas.
I am Thomas Sawyer. You can find me at thomassawyer.com. And me and John specialize in house clearings. If you're watching this, changing the energy of a house, removing anything that doesn't need to be there. Make it simple. I'm here. And helping you realign with the energy, because sometimes there's stuff there that you need to get removed and recalibrated to a higher frequency of light and being that is within your soul.
For real.
Yeah. And with that, we are complete. Thank you
Yes,
all.
Thank you all.
And you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you, Savone and Ada and Marta. I probably butchered your name. Not butchered it, messed it up. But, I'm not good at reading names and saying them. So, thank you all for being here. Peace out, mofos.